All right, good morning, everyone. All the super coaches out there. Welcome to Supercoach 360 BBL podcast episode, whatever it is. I don't know, Christmas Eve episode, that'll do. It's a crazy time of year. Everyone's rushed off their feet. Everyone's going mad. Burgs has had a haircut. Oh, my fucking God, what's going on there? Where's the mullet man? How are you, Burgs?
It's gone. I was scaring the kids with it. So, not that now I'm even more scary to the kids, but.
I noticed your score wasn't too flash this week. You missed lockout, which happens at this,
Heat stroked myself. I was sitting there at about 5:15, waiting for team lists, just tinkering around, and then, I ended up having a whitey and having a sleep. Woke up at 9:30. Oh, no. But, that's part of it. Part of Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, look, Supercoach BBL, it's a brutal thing, right? And you're not going to be on your own there. I'm in some pretty competitive leagues, and I've seen quite a few that have missed a lockout here or there, and it's a tough run. How'd you go, Rossco, last week?
Well, that was me last week when the Scorchers had their double, but this round wasn't too bad. I got 1,051. Moved up 1,448 places to 1,120 after losing a heap last week. And that was with Shadab Khan and also Josh Inglis on the pine as well. So could have been better, but I'll take it. It's not a bad result.
Nice, bloody nice. Going the right direction. I got just over 1,000. I think it's I'm ranked about 260, but it's I just can't get one of those lovely vice captains. I missed Richo the week before, and I missed Nisa this week. Either of them would have been bloody nice, but we'll see how this week goes. This week's going to be tough because this week's going to be all about if you manage to get the right loophole or the right vice captain. And those that do are going to go gangbusters, and those that don't, it's going to be around about a score of 500 or 600, I think, coming your way. So with no double there, it's going to be certainly tough. What are your thoughts, Bergs? What are you looking at trading in this week?
This week I'm looking to get rid of Zampa and Lynn at the moment for Kerr, and I'm bringing in Nisa just because on form he's had good form at test level and he's had good form first 2 games back. So the eye test is enough for me. He's still got a low break even, so I feel if you did miss out last week, you can get him this week. He could be a guy, especially if he doesn't get picked up by Australia, you can have in your squad till the end. He's just a gun. And Kerr, I'm looking at Kerr. I know he probably won't bowl the 4 overs every week, but the way Sydney's top order sort of just falls, he definitely stands and delivers when it's his time. So it's either him or Philippi for me this week. I think it's definitely going to be Kerr. I might bring them both. I'm not sure, or Tom Rogers if I can afford it. Is the other one? He's eye candy to me for that double. But I like him. But what about you guys? Who are you looking at bringing in?
I just want to say before I mention my trades that Bergs, it is the right move bringing Nessa in this week. Break even at -61. If you don't have him, get him in your team this week. He pretty much is a lock and load because he will play probably the whole season now. He's been released from Cricket Australia. And if you don't have him, you've got to get him. It's as simple as that. He's a proven gun. So get him into your team. For me, for my trades this week, you've got Renshaw out, Ty out, and unfortunately Daniel Sam's out because I need the funds. And in comes Hayden Kerr, Josh Philippi, and Tom Rogers. Kerr has been outstanding at the moment, obviously getting a lot of runs because the top order's failing. I'd like to see them move him up the order because he can bat. He's a proven gun. He has opened before in BBL and opens in club cricket. And has been bowling 4 overs because Dan Christian hasn't been bowling. I don't know what Moses is doing there. So doesn't seem to like him too much because he's not bowling him. Philippi is coming into form at the right time, just in time for the double. And Tom Rogers is obviously a proven gun as well in the past with the Hurricanes. So they're the 3 trades I'm doing this week.
No, I like all of those. There's the only thing I'll ask, you said about Sam's and the money. Have you got Rashid Khan?
No, I sold him last week. Believe it or
Okay.
not, I've made the right move and sold him last week.
Yeah.
There is the thought of selling Steckity over Sam's, but Steckity's got a really low break even. He's still got cash to make. Sam's has got a break even about 73, so I'm willing to take that risk.
Yeah, I just worry about Steckity a bit bowling. Where has he got to bowl at next week? He's got to bowl at the Sydney Showground against the Thunder. I'm not really sure. And I tell you what, I didn't really like what I saw about how they use him in both those games. That Pearson, he's all over the shop where he decides to bowl his bowlers. You'd think he'd be bowling death. But
I thought you're right, Brad. I thought his bowling options were pretty ordinary last night. Like, Kuhneman was probably their best spinner. Like, he bowled swept them 4, including over in the surge. Kuhneman was by far one of their best bowlers and only bowled 2 overs. And then he bowled Paisley 4 overs. He was getting tonked.
And then he leaves Paisley to bowl the death balls, which he
Correct.
just gets smashed, like you go, oh.
Yep, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So fellas,
what's that?
just quickly on Rashid Khan, if you did have him, would you get rid of him?
Yes. They've got the bye next round and he leaves soon anyway to go play in another T20 comp.
Yeah,
so he's a sell for me.
I'll be trading this week. He lost 10 grand last week. He's got a break even of 92. 92 off one game. He's more than achievable, but particularly for Khan. But I don't want to lose that cash, see. So he's just as likely to get, the way they've been bowling him, he's just as likely to get, 40 or 50, lose another 20 to 30 grand, which will stop me then from getting Abbott or someone,
Well, put it this way: if you've got Khan and you don't have Hussain, just do it. Pull the trigger for an extra 20k and get Hussain in. He's got a break even of 0 and has a double coming up. It's a no-brainer.
All right, now for my trades, I might as well go through mine quickly. I'll probably do mine live here today while we're on here, but it's I'm getting rid of Khan, like we just discussed. Yeah, I don't see much value in holding on to him. I really like Richo from the Renegades. Only 140 grand. You're not going to get him any cheaper. So if you want Richo, what's up, Rossco?
He's not playing this round. He's been rested too, by the way.
Well,
just
there you go.
FYI. They've rested him.
See, I'm a bit behind the news. Well, I'll go back on that trade. That trade will not be happening. Philippi is another one that has got a low break-even point. That's definitely got to be looked at coming in. Vince, you're not going to get him much cheaper than 70 grand. So you want to talk order batsman for New South Wales or for Sydney Sixers. I think Vince, you like Vincey, Rossco?
I don't mind him. I actually was bringing him in at one stage. He's only about 70k, as you said, but he has got a break even of about 60 or 70. So he could easily lose more cash. So I might wait for next week and see how he goes first before I make my decision.
Oh, good point on that one. Majib at 100 grand, 101,000 for Majib. Any interest there?
I'm looking at him probably to bring him in next week.
Yep.
I've had Mujib from the start. It's been disappointing.
But that won't continue. Yeah, that won't continue. He'll take a stack of wickets at some point. It's like Richo. He's been a little bit disappointing. That's why his price has come down. But he will take 3 or 4 wickets at one stage or another, particularly bowling those death overs.
I think we're talking about Richo from the Scorchers.
Yeah. Yes.
I think this is his game where they play in Perth and they're resting him. Like, that's the wicket for the quicks over there.
No, hang on. You guys are getting confused here. Kane Richardson's the one being rested, not Jai.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to. I was on Kane Richardson. Yeah, that's who I'm sort of, yeah. No, Jai Richardson. Yeah, no, I've got him sitting there. I'll be looking at Jordan probably next week. He should be a good pickup, wouldn't he? You reckon? And is he going to steal overs from Kerr?
I
probably.
can't go there. I can't go there myself just for the fact that they've got 3 international bowlers that they could rotate around because they've got Naveen, and they've got Jordan. So depending on where they play, there's a good chance that those bowlers could get rotated. So for me, I couldn't go Jordan just for that
Doesn't
reason.
doesn't Naveed or Naveen go home real soon? Like, isn't one of them getting out of here?
I think they all. I think Naveen's staying. Naveen, let's get this right. Naveen is going, and Jordan goes soon as well. He's not here for long either. So
Yep.
Naveen stays till the end, but those other two were going around about the same time, around about round 8, I think it is, somewhere
Yep.
around there.
All right.
But Jordan
can
goes
see
at the same time.
I can see Naveed getting a rest for Jordan, if anyone, then, because if he's going to stay for the long haul, he might be the one that gets the rest.
Well, he had it last round. They didn't play him last round, so I don't know what they're going to do. It's all going to depend because Naveed's a spinner, so it depends on the pitch that they're playing on as to who's going to get picked.
That's the other one's Todd Murphy, of course, but there's so much doubt as to if he plays 2 games. But he looks good.
Yeah, he looks good. He's a pretty solid bowler. I think he's an up and comer that's going to probably play Test cricket at some stage. I've got no doubt about that. I like what I see from him. I think he's very talented, but again, it's just the unknown of how many games he's going to play with. You know, they've got Sock, they've got Naveed, and also Murphy as well. So I don't know. It's just a bit of a risk, you know, going a player that you can't guarantee is going to play both games for the double.
Yeah. So that's really what I was sort of. The other one, of course, is Abbott. Let's discuss Abbott. He's still a little bit pricey, isn't he? Let's have a look. I haven't actually checked on his price, but
It's still high. If not 190, he's 200,000.
He's a wait. He's a wait to see because he's got a 128 break even.
Yeah, 128 break even. Yeah.
I'll wait till next week to jump on him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be getting him this week for that price.
Okay. Yeah. Well, not at 128. I'll tell you what, I'm really interested in him, but yeah, you're right. At that price, he looks like he's probably a wait. What do you reckon about Dooley down in Canberra, down in Hobart? He's got to be on people's lists of the funky old spinner that has arms going everywhere and freaking everyone out as he comes into bowl. Is he any interest to anyone? Cash maker?
Well, talking about Dooley, seeing as I missed getting on any heat players with the heat stroke lockout, I decided to go for cash. So I jumped on him, and I jumped on Hardy, and I jumped on someone else just to try to make up some money for the loss of points that I'm going to have, so I can free up some cash for the next couple coming up. So I did jump on Dooley. He looks good. Like the way he moves his arms, he's going to confuse people that have never faced him before. That shit would throw me straight off. I'd be going, whoa, you know, like now that the people have seen it, they're probably watching a bit of video on it, but to face that's going to be different again, you know?
Yeah.
For me, it's a no. Just for the fact that I'm targeting double game players. So I'm going to pass. I think last week would have been the week to get on him like Burgs did. I don't think this is the week to get on him. They don't have a double till about round 7 or round 8, so I wouldn't be jumping on this week.
Is there any other cash makers that you've seen, Rossco, that you reckon that people might be interested in?
Yep. The probably one to look at is obviously Hayden Kerr, as we discussed, break even at -19. A couple others that might be worth looking at, maybe not Bo Webster because he's not bowling with Stoinis back, but Nessa with the break even at -61 and Josh Inglis break even at -59. But I think you may have missed the boat on him because he's already up to 140k now. Obviously, he'll make you more cash, but he was probably one that you want to start with. And in regards to high break evens, ones to discuss is obviously Abbott, as we said, 128. Nick Baddenson's got a break even at 129. So if you're looking at him, maybe wait a week for him. And here's another one. I'm interested to know your thoughts on this, guys. If you've got Henry Thornton, break even at 163, but he's absolutely killing it. If you had him, would you sell him or would you hold him?
Burgs?
Well, I'm hanging on to short because he's got the bat bowl thing, but I can see the merit in holding Thornton, especially if you started with him. if you didn't bring him in for 200K and you need to shuffle that money around for the next double game, I see merit in that. But I can also see the reason that you hang on to him, you know. Like, he's pumping out hundreds easily, like at will, nearly. So he'd be a good pod, I think, come the double game round. Because they're the only team that's out that week, aren't they?
Yep.
The Strikers.
But put
So
into
he'll
consideration
probably
too
be
that they've got a bye next week as well. So does that change your mind? Knowing he's got a bye next week, you're going to leave that cash sitting on the bench for a week?
Yes, because this week I had all intentions of bringing back Sam's, and now I can't do it. You know what I mean? Because things just didn't go the way I wanted. So, yeah, because if you can easily lose money and not be able to get him back in.
Yeah,
It's only a week. It's only
I'd be selling if it was
different if he
me.
was in. Yeah. Different if he was injured for 3 weeks, but with just 1 week on the bye, hold.
Yeah, I'm a bit the opposite to Burgs, and that's okay. That's what Supercoach is all about. We all have different thoughts, but I'd definitely be selling. I'd take you sell high, buy low. Yeah, the old share trading sort of set up. You know, he's got mathematically he's at that point where I'd have to sell him, even if it meant going to an Abbott or somebody. It's just that's a lot of money, and I don't think Thornton forever is going to be pushing out those numbers. A buy coming up, I couldn't have something over 200 grand sitting on my bench. You know, I just couldn't doing nothing. I'd want that cash doing something. You know,
I agree. I think he's a sell too. I think he's a sell with the buy coming up, but they've got a double in round 9. You can pick him up cheaper after that if you want to get him back in.
Him to Rogers might
Just
be
quickly
good, and Rogers back to him. You could do that and still make your money. That'd probably be about a 50 grand because Rogers has got the low break even. Right. Yeah. So if you think he's going to go up by about 20 to 30 grand, Thornton's going to go down by 20 to 30 grand. So it should be a 60 grand turnaround to you as I said, sell Thornton, buy Rogers, and then the week after buy Thornton back again. You've actually probably positively made 60 grand on those couple of trades. Does that make mathematical sort of sense?
Yeah, I'd probably go to him or I'll probably go to him or Hussein, one of the two.
Yeah. What else you got as buys there, Rossco? You did a little buy swap and sell.
Yep. Okay. So obviously the buys on my buy list, the buys had Hussein, which was spoken about, Philippi, which was spoken about, Tom Rogers, Hayden Kerr, and Majid as my buyers. My holds are Steckity and Coulton Isle just because of the low break evens that they've both got. Still got a bit of money to make if you can hold them, hang on to them. And the sell list, I've got Ty, Swepson, and Renshaw. And probably Baisley would be another one too. You guys agree on that?
Yeah. Yeah. Swepson's a definite. Yeah, run away if you got him. I know he's cheap, but what a bad trade in that is.
That was a shocker. Killed me.
I didn't get him, but for those that did get him, the week before I got Lith, and he was. If you still got him like I do, run away. He's just poison.
Yeah, well, Renshaw's at 120K with a break even at 96 and not bowling as we saw, so he's definitely a sell. Same with Baisley, he's got to go too.
There's a super coacher. How we going, big fella?
He's got a team anyway. He's got a team for the buys.
He's got the snipers. He's got the sniper side.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Good stuff. Go get mum. Say hey guys. Merry Christmas.
Hello. Merry Christmas. Hope Santa's good to you.
Hope we all turn up this week, hey? We will. That's right, man.
Good.
Legendary.
Good stuff.
Renshaw was also a disappointing. Obviously for everyone, Renshaw was a massive disappointment. Rossco, it was just a crazy, crazy. Him and Lith have just been my two biggest disappointments of the year as buys to get him. I've still got Rossau hanging around in my team, but he's only got a break even of 3. So, I've actually got some cash there to come my way. So I'll keep. He'll probably be my bencher in my batters. Not many looping options this week for people, is there? Because most people will have, or I'll have a full team. If I've got Josh Brown still, so he might be my one option to loop into. But beyond that, I will have a full team of players, which most people should have and probably will have. You going to have a full team, Rossco?
No,
Yeah, Burks?
I got Johnson because I brought Johnson in very early from the heat, knowing that he'll probably never get a run. And the way it's going, the bowlers are the ones that seem to be getting the massive points. So I like to whack me VC in the bowlers and have him there just for that option, no matter what. Like, just especially if there's a decent one early,
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I've got Josh Brown. I've got him there as my loop option. I've had him from the start too, so I'll probably use him for my bench loop this week. But I just want to say, if you're looking at an option for someone to bring in to help you with your bench loop, Cooper Conley from the Scorchers is probably your best option. Bottom $42K, and he's a dual, so you can move him up and down. So if you are looking for someone, he's your best option. And I think in regards to later games and that for the rounds, to activate the loop, he's your best option to go as well.
Yeah. All right, we might move on to captain's choices. Bergs, what are we looking at? How are we feeling about our captains and vice captains?
I think this week my vice captain I think is Mujib, just on the in case and they play the first game. And because like I said, I've only got that option down in the bowlers to do that loop. And then I'm really looking at Shorty. Shorty on that pitch should have a really good crack, I think. So Matt Short, I'm talking about.
Yep.
I like Matt Short for captain. Last week I went to do a pod captain with Nathan Coulter-Nile. It come back and it bit me that hard. I should have just stuck where the points have been all year, and that was with Short. And I'm gonna back him in this week too. So.
Yeah, no, it sounds fair.
I'm going Hussein as my vice captain, and I'll probably captain either Nessa or Matty Short.
Quick question on Hussein there, Rossco. Do they? And I haven't really caught up with this. I should have. Bit slack of me, but do they reevaluate positional like they do in NRL Supercoach?
Yes, I forgot to mention that. Thanks for bringing that up, Brad. There is a review after this round of DPPs. So there's a good chance that he is going to get dual position, as well as Bo Webster. He's another one who could possibly get the dual position too, given how many overs he's bowled. So there is a couple that are in line, and the review gets done after this round. So it'll come into play before round 5. So yes, yes, good point for bringing that up. So yeah, that's happening after this round. This round 5 and round 10 are the two rounds that they review the dual positions.
All right, so people, if you got those 2 players, I wouldn't be even moving them. Yeah, hold on to them until they get that DPP, and then make a decision upon what you're going to do from there, because it'll make it valuable to move both of them from bowlers to batters. And I'd love to have Hussein up in my batting stocks at the moment. I reckon that would really strengthen up my batting lineup, and I wouldn't have to play the likes of Stoinis like I did this week. Bloody hell!
But in saying that, you won't have Hussein for long after the double, because I think he leaves about round 7, round 8. I think it is he leaves as well. So. But I'd still be getting on him this week. No hesitation with the double coming up and breaking him at 0. If you don't have him, get him in.
Yeah.
Lock him in.
It was your so your captains were, you said
either Nessa or Nessa or Matty Short. Yeah. With VC on Hussein.
I'll probably be pretty much the same. Probably be seeing Hussein. And yeah, no, the safe captain's choice is definitely Matty Short. Although, if you really want to go a bit rogue, Jai Richardson playing back in Western Australia on that nightmare of a pitch that he played on the other day, it looked good for him, didn't it? It suited him, that pitch, Rossco.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like that, as we said, that pitch yesterday in the Stars Scorchers game was just about as paradise with the short outfield. So I wouldn't be too concerned about several bowlers in that game who didn't perform well. Zampa, I would be holding. I wouldn't be selling him because next game's at the SCG. I wouldn't be selling. Definitely wouldn't be selling Jai Richardson. Stoinis was pretty unlucky. Probably should have got more wickets as well. Nathan Coulter-Nile, I wouldn't be stressed about selling him with a break even a 6 either. I'd be hanging on to him. So don't let that game yesterday, make your influence on who to sell because it was just about as paradise. That's where you want to be loaded up on the batters and nothing else. So, you saw Luke Wood got 5 wickets, but also got smacked with 50 runs as well.
Yeah.
So, don't let that game deter you too much with your selections and who you're going to trade in and out for this week.
Are you, Burgs, have you got Stoinis at all?
I do have Stoinis.
Are you going to play him this week or are you going to rest him on the bench?
No, I'll play him. I might leave him as a loop option and hold a trade. I'm not sure. Just see how he goes. Like you said, he's near there, and once he does click, we all know what he's got in him. He's the Stoin. He's a machine.
Yeah, I think he'll come good. I'm going to set him up for the bench loop, and I think he'll come good. As I said, he probably could nearly have 5 wickets yesterday. It was just one of the case where the ball just went past the fielder. There was a couple that was just very close. He could have easily turned up yesterday.
Well, I think there were 2 straight drop catches. One of them was a simple dolly straight too, and it was. Yeah, that had me crying. I'm thinking, oh God, could I had him on the field, Stoinis? Is he? I mean, he is out of luck, but he's also looks like he's a bit out of form with the bat, isn't he? He just doesn't quite have any rhythm at all, does he?
He's a proven gun, as we know in the past. Sorry, Bergs. He's a proven gun in the past. 59K. You can't sell him anyway. You just got to pick the right week to play him. That's the thing.
Yeah,
he looked okay in the World Cup too. Like, it's just a matter of him finding his feet there, I suppose.
No, good stuff. All right. I'll probably, as I said, I ran through my captain's choices. All right. Anything else, boys? Anything else we want to add to our options?
With like mainly wicket keepers are scoring the big runs with the batters. Well, that last week I benched Wadey. This week I pulled Wadey off the bench for Inglis. And I've got Clark in my side. Is there a way to, like, you boys are looking at breaking that down to who's going to score less runs, or it's just luck of the draw?
At the moment, unfortunately, it's a bit of luck. In previous years, we've had some non-playing wicket keepers that cost about 42 grand that you could park on your bench, and this year it's just not really there. So, like, I'm running 3 wicket keepers, but they're all, it's just a matter of picking which one, because I don't really have a great looping option into the wicket keeping spot. I do on the batting option, so I'll try to keep one in the batters and try to figure it out from there. What do you reckon, Rossco? You same sort of thought?
It's hard because I benched Inglis this week and played Clark instead, thinking that Clark would do well being the pitch it was on, but obviously they were playing each other and I had to choose one of them. I opted to go for Clark, but I'm going to bring Philippe in this week, and now I've got to choose who I'm going to play. I have Philippe down in the bat, so I've still got to choose who I play between Clark and Inglis this week. It is hard. As you said, Brad, we don't have that cheap option to move around between the bat and the keep as a cheap option, but it's just a gamble on who you play. That's the thing. I'm going to bench Clark this week, and he'll probably come out and get 100. So it's just the way it goes. It's hard.
Yeah.
At the SCG, it's not exactly a batter's paradise, so I think you're making the right move there. Philippe playing SCG, yeah, you'd probably play him over Clark. Yeah. Yeah. Inglis playing black at home again. Yeah, I might look at him.
And Wade in Melbourne.
Yeah, Wade,
So,
Wade
yeah.
in that little ground
Yeah.
down in Hobart. Wow, he can really smack them. There's some good boundaries down there in Hobart to be found.
So
Yeah.
if you had Wade, Inglis, and Philippi this week, who are you leaving out?
Clark.
No, Wade, Inglis, or
Oh.
Philippi. You leaving Inglis out, or you leaving one of the others out?
Probably
might-
flip. Probably flip.
Yeah, well, I might. Yeah, but yeah, I'm going to have to go back and have a look at some stats. It's either Inglis or Philippi. I'm going to play Wade on those boundaries down there. Yeah, I'm playing Wade. So he's about my only definite, and I'll choose between those other two when I have a look at how they stack up on those two grounds that they're playing on. You know, both are playing at home. All three are playing at home, actually. Clark's the only one out of anyone that we've mentioned that's not playing at home. Harper, any love for Harper for people thinking about jumping on another wicket-keeping option from the Scorchers? Any love for Harper, folks?
I did a pod earlier with Ado, and we discussed this, and he was looking at the option of bringing him in, and I've told him no, because the reason is that Guptill comes into the squad next round, as does Sean Marsh for the Renegades, so there's a good chance that Sam Harper could drop down the order as well. So I wouldn't, purely for that reason, I wouldn't be going there.
Yeah. No, that sounds fair. That sounds fair. Burgs, any love for Harps?
He has turned up for me in the past before a couple of times, but same breath got me 20s the week later. This year hasn't really done much. I'm not really, I probably won't go that way. I'll go Philippi over him for the double game week that week.
Yeah.
And look at a Finch or something.
If you want something around about that price, I think he's 80k. I'd look at Vince, or I'd look at, for a little bit extra, Curtis Pattinson, just because they're both well, one's opening and one bats first drop, so they're probably better options. But you can always wait and see where he bats. You can always wait for the team list to come out and see where he bats next week. But I wouldn't be buying him this week just for that reason.
Yeah. All right, folks, that's about it for today. I'd like to take this opportunity to wish everybody a happy Christmas. Don't send yourself too mad. So I know the other boys from 360 that aren't here, Con and Juzzy are both would like to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas as well. Don't drink too much. Spend all day on Boxing Day on the couch watching lots of cricket. Boys, anything extras?
I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. And sorry, Boots.
No, you're right, bro. Hope we all turn up this week.
All right, folks. Well, that's
it.
Merry Christmas to everybody. Catch us later.
Merry Christmas and good luck.
Good luck.